After his announcement on putting off the ban on sales of new petrol cars, in his latest statement, we're talking about UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who insisted that the UK would still meet its climate commitments. He said that he was not slowing down efforts to tackle climate change.
Now, we've been through the numbers and we're absolutely confident that we are on track to hit all our international and domestic targets, which, by the way, are world leading. And the reason I have confidence in that is because we've over-delivered on all of our carbon budgets to date. Despite everyone saying, oh, you might not hit them, we've over-delivered on them. Plus, we can see that the costs of some of these new technologies are falling far faster than people have predicted.
Rishi Sunak on Wednesday, speaking at an agricultural college, said the change of policy meant that the UK would meet its net zero target, but in a more practical way. This despite criticism from environmental campaigners, businesses and opposition lawmakers. Former COP26 President Alok Sharma has warned that this move will not help economically or electorally the cause of any political party. Further, climate experts are saying that the UK's potential rollback on green policies suggests the government has no meaningful plan to reach its net zero targets by 2050. This, along with damage to investor confidence in the UK economy.
I think it's really devastating and incredibly disappointing, because there's no point in anything if the planet is dying, and we really need to have that as the number one priority. It's about, he's just thinking about the short term and not about the long term, and he's thinking about who he wants to be voting for him and not about the population as a whole.
On the other hand, there are in London expressions of support to Sunak's rollback. The supportive voices pointed to the lack of infrastructure and finance to switch to electric cars.
I believe that he has his reasons. He's got all the data in front of him and statistics. I'm sure he's got intelligent reasons for doing so. It's not just a blind decision he's coming in. I think he's got the UK's best interests at heart.
It's not ideal, unfortunately, but I think it's a logical thing to do because we don't yet have the infrastructure to accommodate the charging and the grid supply. So it seems the logical thing to do, although it's unfortunate.
Now, by delaying the ban on new petrol cars, Sunak aims to maintain the consent of the British people during the transition to a net zero economy. Sunak said he was going to amend the policy as previous governments have taken quick decisions in setting net zero targets, and that too without winning public support. The delay is to ease the unacceptable costs on British households from energy transition. Sunak talked about how he would ease the transition to heat pumps from gas boilers in homes, as some of the policies impose a direct cost on consumers.
So I'm announcing today that we will give people far more time to make the necessary transition to heat pumps. We'll never force anyone to rip out their existing boiler and replace it with a heat pump. You'll only ever have to make the switch when you're replacing your boiler anyway, and even then, not until 2035. And to help those households for whom this will be the hardest, I'm introducing a new exemption today so that they will never have to switch at all.
With this net zero plan, UK was the first major economy to create a legally binding target to bring greenhouse gas emissions to net zero by 2050.